What's going on, everybody? We're back. Damn, I see we got three people on here already. That's amazing. Before the stream even started, I appreciate you guys for joining. Um, if you're new, welcome to the stream. This is Bond Open with Fish and Pips. Bond Open is pretty much 9:30. When the bell rings on Wall Street and things go crazy and things should get a little volatile. Um, but as discussed yesterday, right, we do have some news at 9:45, so it may delay some things. Um, as discussed yesterday, I may honestly want to wait till 10 o'clock to actually get something going. Uh, just because if we get in something, say a bond open, and you got news at 9:45, that can kind of cause some changes in what's going on in the market. So 10 o'clock might be the best bet, but let's look at the charts first and see what we got. Boom. So we got all three indices here: US 30, SPX, NASDAQ, all coming off of gaps, right? This is the daily time frame. All coming off of daily gaps. Didn't fill them quite. Didn't fill them at all, really. We respected the upper bounds of each. Yesterday, we took a E30 short here, right? And I kind of said it didn't seem feasible for price to come in and fill all of this gap in one day. And it looks like we filled in majority of it, right? And if we look at the lower bound of this gap, let's bring this in. Bring this down here, the lower bound of that gap. Kind of see what's going on. Good exact price here. 3292952. And guys, anything you put on the charts, you want it to be exact for maximum accuracy. For SPX, let's kind of just look at these lows here. These are equal lows that we have not touched yet. So kind of the same thing as NASDAQ yesterday. We'll look at NASDAQ in a minute. Let's get the low here, 411320. Perfect. NASDAQ, what gave a fire play yesterday should have been the one, honestly, that we took. We were looking at this low for price to take, and it did take it. We see price continuing bearish. We'll see bearish where exactly. Honestly, I like this low, and I'll say why in a second. Go here. Get this low, 1272. 2975. 2975. Look at this gap, right? We got a gap here. So honestly, I want price to continue pushing lower. I was looking at this area of liquidity and saying, okay, maybe we're pushing off of that. But with this gap here and it being so bearish, yeah, that looks like something possible. So 126753. Perfect. All right. And you see this. We got the same thing here for SPX. Not quite on US 30. We got it here, but it's really far away. I'm just kind of seeing where we could price draw to now. So clearly we're bearish. Looks like we could have an up day, but we'll have to see. Let's look at everything for what it is, effectively. There's that gap for US 30, right? Wanted to kind of fill it in. There it is. See, we kind of hit it. Didn't quite break structure, right? This is that last lower high. Price comes down, makes that lower low. Did they break it? Not quite. I'd honestly want like a nice push to consider a break. It looks like price might sit here a little bit. Personally, I think either go lower or kind of like fade out. I'll have to see what it looks like on the low. Like I said, we're gonna be waiting until 10 o'clock either way. So SPX at these lows. What we got on the H1. See, they kind of all look the same. Now SPX didn't come to that low, so I'm definitely still thinking bearish on SPX. As far as like an opportunity that for sure we can get to that low, and I say for sure for myself, right? Like we didn't hit the low yet. Price didn't quite break structure. I think this is like a big little bull run here. Get everybody track bull. And on smash them. Not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of the way this looks though. Nasdaq, same thing. Except for gap here. Let me actually make color so that we know gap. All right, good. So we know this is our daily gap here that price may want to push towards. So here's our high of the day right now. Right, price open, created a low of the day, high of the day, kind of fake. I'm honestly thinking lower prices all across the board, but see, not a fan of it so far though. Just like with the way price looks right now, I don't know. Not really a fan. How does that look? Make sure my webcam isn't covering price up. I noticed that's been happening times. But yeah, definitely do want to see lower prices on SPX and Nasdaq, which could ultimately bring US 30 lower. And it makes perfect sense just given the sus type of price action that we have for US 30. Yo, call me Bully. What's up, man? Good morning. Good morning. What's going on? Appreciate the likes so early. Appreciate the views. Everybody jumping on nice and quick. Keeps me going, man. Appreciate it. Move your webcam top left. Top left. Ah. See, here's the thing. Then people ask me if I move it. People ask me, what pair is this? Time frame is this? always been kind of hard trying to figure out, uh, you know, there we that better? Do you trade regular forex pairs? Right now, not really. I'll be honest with you. Actually, since the beginning of the year, um, once I really got into indices, it it's changed everything in the sense of, like, catch a lot more pips a lot faster. And indices are a lot quicker to show you whether or not you're right or wrong. Not that that's necessarily a good thing, but um, you know, I've like if I I have traded Euro US dollar a couple times this year, where like it's given a good play and I've taken it, but it's not the top of my radar too much anymore. But there, last year all I did was trade US 30 GBP USD. Like that's all I traded. I traded nothing else. So you can check out my Instagram page, Fish for Pips, and you can see, like, I have all of 2021 trades is pretty much GU GBP USD. All right. You learn from Arch or Tyler? I learned from both. Um, Started learning with Arch June, the summer of 2020, and then started learning from Tyler December of 2020, going into 2021. Pretty much has been with Tyler ever since. Um, yeah. Then pretty much started doing my own thing, learning ICT, like I've stated before, right? Pretty much like my style right now is a mix of everything that Tyler's taught me and the things that I've learned from ICT's YouTube, which is completely free on YouTube. Really, the only thing that it costs is your time, and your willingness to want to learn. Um, can get very frustrating, but it's worth it. Quick summary of what ICT goes over. Pretty much just spotting. Geez, like if he was on here, he'd probably grind me up. But the most simplest form I can say, right, is spotting an area of liquidity. Um, then off that area of liquidity, right, just waiting simply for a break of structure and a retest to a fair value gap or a breaker, right? That's simplest simplest it can get. It can get very very intricate, but like spotting area liquidity, um, and taking a play off of it, right? If not that, going towards that area liquidity, right? It's very hard to go, like in detail or give a quick summary. But yeah, break and retest to a fair value gap. That's pretty much like what he teaches in his ICT to mentorship, but it's like very you know, you get everything in there. Great. Quick question: why does the open price and close price of a daily candle matter? Um, well, I don't think the close of a daily candle really matters, right? But the open does, and that's because you can kind of gauge, okay, if price, if we're looking bearish, right? Damn, I wish I had like a Zoom opened up. Trading view. All right, so we got trading view here. Where's the drawing tool? So we got the opening price, right? Price opens, and we're looking bearish. So price opens, they make a high. This is that manipulation, that accumulation, right? This high is the accumulation for shorts to go short, right? Um, Obviously you got people going long here, so they're trapping longs. That's how they're getting their money to go short. So pretty much when you got your opening price and your bias is bearish, you want to make sure that you're getting in at the high, right? And you look at that in like a premium discount basis, right? So like if you take the open, if you take the whole range, you get like a premium discount. So if you're bearish, you obviously want to sell at a price, um, and you want to buy at a discounted price. So the open's important. You want to get in at the high, anywhere within the high, and then price makes a low, close. Usually where that low is formed and then it creates a close is going to be some type of liquidity that it's going to bounce off of, um, to cause a pullback and then a close. There are times where like I do look at the I take the opening price and then take the sorry about that. Well, like I take the opening price and I try to get in around the high or the low depending on what the bias is, but it doesn't happen too. Oh, it's bond open. So, like I stated yesterday, right? Clearly I'm bearish on price for all three indices. Um Therefore I really don't want to look to take long really at all. While I could sit here and say this does make the valid case for a long, um these are the things like I can tell you what ICT talks about, but he's going to explain more, the sauce of like what you need for it, right? Um, could go long here, but prices bearish, so I'm kind of like going against very big entity in that case. Um, Nasdaq was cool. Would have been a decent bag on Nasdaq, but honestly, not a fan on. Not really coming from anything. All right, we got this daily gap here that I would like to see price come towards. Um, These are those daily lows. So this is the high of the day so far. Um, I wonder if they're gonna make a new high. Man, this is actually a nice. We're gonna stick to the plan though, right? News comes out at 9:45, so we're gonna wait. Yeah, we would have got a nice wonderful Nasdaq, but not my cup. Might get a playoff high of the day following news. Yeah, that'd be ideal. I mean, I definitely do want to see lower prices, but there's a very strong possibility, right, with how bearish price is that we get an up close day, right? Maybe we get an up close day, and today's just a day not to trade. Could be something. Not something I'm gonna take, but yeah, it's not coming. At this point, price is gonna clean. Let's mark our high of the day. Nasdaq's pretty close to its high of the day, or like I said, with how bearish we are, very possible that we have an up close, like we had here, right? Fell off. This could be an up close day. Fell off. We do have this gap from the week open, that price could want to fill across the board for all the indices. You have this like actual gap here. Nasdaq was a banger. And guys, bear with me. I'm still trying to figure out how to like add music to Streamlabs. I know how to do it for OBS. They're probably the same, but yeah, adding the music and then figuring out what music I really want. Like I said, like non-copyrighted music is kind of. I feel like that's more boring. To be honest with you. So I'm gonna just put my fib here as like a theoretical. This is a play we could take, but we're not gonna take it. Stop loss here at this low, below the gap. Um, enter right here at the top of the gap, and then taking it to the high of the day, like a 1 to 4. Price coming down pretty hard. Yeah, so that would have got stopped out here. Um, which is why we're not taking any longs. I see Nasdaq would have been like a bad quick scalp. No fair value gaps here for you 30. Kind of just bunching up. Should get some movement here in the next 5 minutes. 10 o'clock, I think we should really get some nice direction. So geez, whoever got long, I hope they got out. That would have been. Omar, welcome back, bro. Locked in, yes sir. I bet you're glad you waited instead of going long. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna go long either way. I was just showing a possible like trade idea if they wanted to continue long. But like I said yesterday, like I'm not like my bias is bearish, right? We've been bearish for the past like all last week. So for me to, and this is something I want to improve on, right? If I see on a daily we've been bearish, right? Clearly price is going down. Like I'm trying to clean up in the sense of I don't want to take any longs for the week, right? If we're bearish, I'm only going to take short plays, and it doesn't matter if we get one, right, or the whole week we get bearish opportunities. I'll take them all week if they're there. But if we only get one, right, fine. And then that was the one play that I got for the week. That's fine. Yesterday was we got a 1 to 9 on US 30, and that was a short play. So if that's the only one for the week, that's fine, right? I'm not tripping. Yeah, nah, I feel you 100%. Got a bias, then news comes out and the plan goes out the window. Yeah, yeah. It happens. It happens. I do like this though. This little New York long that they had, and then kind of the breakdown that can give us a setup short. Um, if we can break structure and then retest to a gap of some sort, got a lot of room downside. That works in our favor. Really, no opportunities to get in short here unless you were like just unless you were just like fuck it, you know. News dropped. Broke structure, no gap. Broke structure, gap fill. I'm gonna wait and see. Price is kind of jumpy. Cool. One thing I do like though for all the indices right now is they're kind of all doing the same thing, which is good. Kind of pick and choose best. Um, they've all made a high and then broke down lower. Just not really enticed on taking a trade right now. I'll be honest with everybody right now. Like there's just no point. Patience. I like that. Yeah. Patience pays. What do you think about EU and fair value gap? Let's get rid of this. EU and a fair value gap. H1. Like, from where? Now, this is promising long for Euro US dollar. Right? We took out this liquidity. We took out this liquidity. It's kind of our stop hunt, make people think we're still going short. And then a huge rally. This is nice here. I like this. Right? We break that structure high and then give like 1, 2, 3. Three little touches to that fair value gap. Expect it pretty run. I do like it though. Definitely can be looking euro dollar. Sell side liquidity, and we're starting to pull back a little bit. We look at high to low to kind of get our range. Right, we want to look to sell above in a premium, so anything above the 50. Right now we're in a discount. Yeah, buys are pretty. Whoa. Nasdaq made a new high. Right, here's the high of the day. Wow. Fair value gap. Didn't really give an opportunity though, besides just off that fair value gap. You SPX and then didn't fill the fair value gap in at all. Kind of just bought up. And then S30. So you got the breaker structure and retest of the fair value gap. Is this good? Is this good play on that? In hindsight, it was a good play, but it isn't anymore. It's done at this. Like this whole move here, break low. Like here's yesterday's low. We break yesterday's low, then we break structure, and then retest to the fair value gap. You know, yeah, that would have been nice. But at this point, it's not. One thing I would have liked to see, right? If we're coming off this 15-minute, if we're coming off this 15-minute, right? I want to kind of see the same thing on the 1 minute. So, like on the 15-minute, we had break of structure, retest to the gap. So now in the 1 minute, I like what I would ideally want to see is a break of structure, which I mean technically we do have here. It's a long range, and then a retest to a gap. So it's like a vortex, right? We get a break of structure, retest to a gap in the higher time frame, and you want to find that same thing on your entry time. It just builds up. SPX still kind of struggling to get its push higher. Nasdaq was very volatile. Nasdaq definitely had the volume. U30 just garbage. Yeah, garbage. One thing I do like though, and I forgot to mention it earlier, um, when price gets choppy like this, in the sense of like it's making new lows and new highs, but it's like it's not really expanding. Typically, like this whole thing is meant to get wiped pretty quick, right? Like whoever's short here, they're getting pips, but they're not really getting to it. Like short pushes, then a big pullback, short push, big pullback, and then literally in a matter of however long it took to get from here, let's just say, to here, it took less time to clean it out. Do the same thing. Well, it took well over an hour to get from this high to this low, and only took 15 minutes to wipe it. Prime example is Bitcoin. I had some friends that have been going long here on Bitcoin on these lows, and yeah, they definitely made money, but these short little climb ups, I mean, it's sus to me because look how much time, very little time it took to wipe out nearly half of that. Or I should say July, from July to August, a whole month it took. It only took a few days to wipe. Yeah, we're not gonna look at US 30. That's out of. Let's see if Nasdaq is saying the same. See how SPX kind of has this structure here. Now we're breaking down. That would have been a valid case for short if had we like taken out the high of the day, like Nasdaq. But I honestly think I'm going to be hands off today. Wait till 10 o'clock though. Check out what news we got tomorrow. Okay, we got more news at 10 o'clock, so yeah, it's good to wait either day. News tomorrow 8:30. Really all throughout the day. Jobless claims Thursday. All really 8:30 news. That's good. Kind of come in, and go from bond open on. Kind of open game there. The Nasdaq took their high of the day. More news has dropped. Just an idea off that gap. Not a fan. Yeah, we're definitely going for that high today. I like this though, cause I can do this and show my ideas, and probably be wrong about it, but at the end of the day, no money put on the line, and that's what matters most. Am I wrong? Ideas. We all here to learn and grow together. Yes, sir. That. SPX off this gap would have been a hefty stop though. Yeah, that risk reward. Stop would have been low. Man, old me would have been chasing Price back and forth, blowing accounts and all that on one day, getting frustrated. Might just be a consolidation day, right? Because we have that high and the low, and we haven't expanded anywhere, right? Set our high of the day and the low of the day, and we kind of just been sitting. Same goes for US 30. Nasdaq is really the only one that showed it wanted to go higher, but kind of retraced back. See, so this is what I was talking about. Like, um, on the 15, we get that break of structure, retest to a gap. You want to kind of find that on lower time frames. Um, break a structure, retest to a gap. Um, if you look back at everything you've learned over your trading journey, what do you think caused the biggest breakthrough in your learning? Um, huh. What caused the biggest breakthrough in kind of funny because like it feels like this is the thing with trading that I feel like nobody has ever put as a disclaimer. When you think you got it, something shows you that you don't got it. And you kind of feel like get one breakthrough, but then there's another thing you gotta kind of conquer. Then you break through that, and there's another thing you gotta conquer. Right? Pretty much to say there's always room for improvement, and there's always things to fix. There's always things to learn. Um, and essentially, you can never just settle. You know, um, the biggest thing in this game, and it's still something I'm trying to hone in. Um, capital pres capital preservation and knowing when to use the right risk. right? Um, all the learning and learning new things, technicals, and how to read the chart. That's always going to constantly, right? Because markets change all the time, and you're gonna have to use different things. You're gonna have to approach the market in different ways at times, right? It could be the same setup, but you may have to look for things, different things, high the day, or take plays off gaps. Um, but the biggest thing, like, I guess, that everybody could take away aside from the learning is capital preservation, learning to see the day, right? Um, Being okay with missing opportunities, um, not jumping at everything that we see, right? And today was a good example, right? There was maybe 3 times on the charts that I've marked some and said, okay, we could take a play here, and it got wiped. But at the end of the day, no money was put on the line. Being okay with that, right? Miss it, we miss it perfectly. Um, and just waiting to see something that you have a feeling, right, on the charts. I know people say, like, you don't know this is gonna happen, but you get a feeling, right? Things just set up really nice on the chart sometimes where you like, yo, this thing's gonna bang. Like, I know that. Even though you don't know that, right? Still got that feeling, like, yeah, things gonna bang. And those are the plays that, kinda wanna aim. Um and then something new that I kinda wanna definitely gotta implement, right? And I know you shared that was also an issue for you, is having a bias but then going against, right? That's definitely something, like, if I'm bearish for the day or for the week, like, I'm not taking any long, vice versa. For the longest I've been stuck on, I hope what I said, like, I know I kind of just went anywhere, but for the longest I've been stuck on market structure and price action. I feel like there's a lot more to it. There really isn't. Um, like, it really is just market structure and price action. Uh, it's just waiting for that, like, price action and market structure. I feel like is the setup, right? It's just taking that in high conviction areas, like areas of liquidity, right? I think Nasdaq is kind of like the perfect example, where in terms of price action and market structure, which is actually pretty clean. Um, right? We had yesterday's low. We broke yesterday's. Okay, market structure. All right, so that's price action. We broke yesterday's low. Market structure, we broke the high, broke the previous high, retest to a fair value gap. Okay, 5 minute. We break structure here, retest to a fair value gap. It's actually a pretty nice play. Um, you kind of like whatever price action market structure you want to see on any time frame. You want to find it on every time frame, pretty much. Like a vortex. Like one thing inside of another. You want to find the same thing inside of each time frame, all the way to your entry time. Then you're in there. It bangs. Yes, sir. Catch you next stream, bro. Appreciate it. See you tomorrow, brother. Brandon. Last year, November till now, I thought I had it figured out since I had a big payday and something down the line went sideways. Showed me I lost it, and here I am, learning from this, improving. Yeah, waiting for the moment and not being greedy. 100%. 100%. Yeah, man. I just look back to like what trading has like done for me outside of trading. Like mentally and physically. You know what I mean? Like I have a yes and a no mindset. Sense. Everything is pretty much black or white. I can make a decision pretty quick. Um and risk out and plan out the risk to reward of every decision. That's a beautiful thing. Um it's also helped me like, get my health in gear, right? Thinking, right? And it may not actually be true, but I think it's true, right? Um once you're like healthy physically, right? You become healthy mentally and that transfers to um and that's very powerful, something like this actually got me to do so beautiful thing. Yeah, so US 30 never really caught that gold, fam. Health is wealth. Yep, 100%. There's no point in trying to chase X amount of dollars if you won't be living to see it, or if you're not healthy to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to spend that money on whatever I want, not fucking pills and hospital bills and you know I spend on real estate, cars, land. Looking back, like I said, in hindsight, Nasdaq and SPX are definitely clean in terms of it gave the break of structure and the retest. Um, let's actually see what that risk reward got. So it would have been about a 1 to 2 going to that high today off SPX. I think Nasdaq's gonna go for this double top here from New York yesterday. I guess gold is busting 170 pips. Oh, we got Ryan in here. What's good, bro? Mr. Chart Bullies himself. So SPX cleared that high today. I think we're pretty much done here. I'm really thinking about getting rid of these session boxes. Let's just theoretically take SPX and Nasdaq kind of did the same thing where they broke the high and then filled their gap. So, you know, that stop is just hefty. And one to three, 1 to 5 is actually very feasible. I like these highs here. You can't really see it. My face is in. There's highs here at 1 to 5. Pretty evened out. I swear SPX is better than US 30. At times. Kind of hard to choose, like, and that's something I'm still trying to figure out because I do prefer just one pair. With indices, it's just hard to look at one without looking at the other. Because I always feel like, there was a point where I was just looking at Nasdaq, but the entire time like I had Nasdaq up, US 30 was given the best plays, like price action wise. It's like, dude, like I'm missing out here. Um, so it's kind of hard. Like I always default back to just having all three up and just picking and choosing the best one, which I think there's no problem with it, right? Just seeing which one has the cleaner price action and going with it. Um, as long as all three are kind of doing the same thing, it really doesn't matter. Picking and choosing which ones. So US 30, build that gap. And I'm not getting in any plays at this point. Um, this is about the time I like to wrap up and go to the gym. So I definitely don't want to go to the gym having to look at my phone every 5 minutes, seeing whether or not I'm in profit. I'm in drawdown. It's like I said, there's no reason. You were on here yesterday. We had a really good play yesterday on US with our bias, right? So I really don't do too much here. But I'm kind of more concerned here that price is gonna continue higher for the side of the day. It just makes sense, right? Nasdaq and SPX made their highs, so US 30 should definitely follow suit off this gap. I wish you could draw on MT4. I struggle with that too, no lie. I just try to trade SPX and NAS and use the others to make sure they're aligned. Yeah. Yeah, it can get kind of difficult when they're not aligned, for sure. Have you done the funded account thing? Yeah, I've honestly listen. This is funny, and I'm definitely I'm gonna have a story written on this when I do pass one. Um, and it's funny because I've never failed one. So if you know the funded accounts, they give you free retries if you get break even or you make profit but you don't hit the profit goal. This is word to God. I've done 10 free My Forex Fund challenges where, like, I'll profit 5% or scratch break even, but can never get to 8%. I've done 10 free. Um, I've only paid for one, and just the rest have been free. which is it's a constant battle with that too, because it's like, bro, like why am I break even on these things? Why are they so hard? I don't understand. But I will pass one, and my goal is to try to pass one on here. Be pretty dope. I think it'd be really dope to actually pass one of those. And I guess with the funded things, you really have to just like go crazy. Like you really can't be conservative with your risk. I don't know. US 30 moving off that gap. Bring these to the daily, kind of see what we got. All right, so US 30, we can see we really pushed off that gap. It's just struggling to make go higher. So I think it will push higher. Just because SPX and Nasdaq have. It's gonna take a little time. SPX failed to take out that low. Right, here's that low there. That's why longs to me are just really sus. Plus we've been bearish 4 days, so I'd rather wait for a play to this low. Nasdaq, we took out that low that we were looking at yesterday, and we've kind of pulled back. But like I said, my next interest is the gap here on the daily. If they're gonna pull to anything, if they're gonna sell to anything. Um, and honestly, depending on how today closes, it looks like we might be having some retracement into this, try to fill these weak open gaps, which is very possible, and continue short, but we'll have to wait and see. But bias is definitely bearish. Today wasn't that day for it. That's it. Get to see another day. But I appreciate everybody who getting on today. Today was popping, man. Like off the rip, I really appreciate it. Appreciate the likes. If you're new here, please subscribe, drop a like, comment. Let me know what you want to see, what I should add. Maybe I should add some forex pairs. What type of music you like in the background, and just give me suggestions, and I'm open to make those things happen, because obviously I want you guys to continuously join me on these live streams. But I appreciate everybody again for coming on. Have a good day, and see you tomorrow. Peace.